Totem pole, 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 totem pole.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Totem pole, 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 totem.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Hello.
Coach Bald, Life Lessons Podcast. If life was a class, what have you learned?
Oh, boy, I could coach a freaking master class in pretty much what not to do, but to never give up. Man, that's huge right there. I guess it's just relationships. I would say is one of the main things. Maintaining relationships with good people. Good people are hard to find, but once you find them, man, you keep them by your side. You are who you hang around and surround yourself with. You know what I mean? If you wanna be rich, you better not be hanging out with the poor peoples. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be a millionaire, you should be surrounding yourself with millionaires, just trying to get in the room. Eventually, those 4 millionaires, if you're the fifth guy, maybe you're going to be up there. But,
Coach
yeah, man,
Bald,
if it was
it is. Good morning. I miss you, Coach Bald. 2 nights ago, she asked me, was Coach Bald coming on? And here we go.
MK is in the house. MK is in the house. MK is in the house. MK is in the house.
MK is in the house. If life was a class, what have I learned? And I did not think of that. I'm not smart enough to think of that phrase. I heard that in a poem by Dr. Maya Angelou. And I know we'll probably be getting a copyright, but that's okay. And I don't even know if I can do it here. I don't think can I present my screen? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Here it is. Maya Angelou. And what has she learned? This is an 80-year-old woman, and this is what she has learned in her life. I think she knows a lot. So let's see what she says here.
If I think of my life as a class and what I've really learned, I've learned a few things. First, I'm aware that I'm a child of God. It's such an amazing understanding to think that the it, which made fleas and mountains and rivers and stars, made me. What I pray for is humility, to know that there's something greater than I. Then I have to know that the brute, the bigot, and the batterer are all children of God, whether they know it or not. And I'm supposed to treat them accordingly. And it's hard, and I blow it all the time.
Mongrel class of people.
I'd like everybody to think of a statement by Terence. The statement is, I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. If you can internalize the least portion of that, you will never be able to say of an act, a criminal act, or I couldn't do that. No matter how heinous the crime, if a human being did it, you have to say, I have in me all the components that are in her or in him. I intend to use my energies constructively as opposed to destructively. If you can do that about the negative, just think what you can do about the positive. If a human being dreams a great dream, dares to love somebody, if a human being dares to be Martin King or Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa or Malcolm X, if a human being dares to be bigger than the condition into which she or he was born, it means so can you. And so you can try to stretch yourself. So you can internalize homo sum humani nihila me alienum puto. I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. That's one thing I'm learning.
That's one thing that she is learning. She's 80 years old. Now she's passed away. But that's one thing that she was learning is that it doesn't matter who you are, that she had to treat you with respect because you are a human being and so is she. Coach, you told me something yesterday. I was a little down yesterday. Wasn't feeling like doing life lessons. Thought I needed a break. And then you told me about your friend who had suffered a stroke and you had sent him the video of the last lecture by Randy Posh. And that meant so much to me that you had shared that video with your friend just a week before he had a stroke. And then watching Maya Angelou talk about what it means to be a human being. And it's easy for me to understand that, Pee Wee that used to help me out at Meadowbrook, he robbed a bank. He walked into a bank, handed the lady a note saying, I have a gun, give me all your money. He took the money, went into the neighborhood and gave it away. Gave it away to people in the neighborhood. And everybody said, where did you get this money with this ink dye on it? Well, wasn't too long for Pee Wee was in prison. And someone told me years later, hey, did you know Pee Wee was in prison? I said, yeah, for what? They said, robbing a bank. Well, if Pee Wee could rob a bank, so can I. And that's easy for me to understand. But it's harder for me to realize that because there have been human beings that have walked on this earth and have changed things. Like I went to my son's award ceremony yesterday, and the principal said that your goal is to change the world.
Wow.
Oh, yeah? Well, I took my son for $20 and we went and got a Little Caesars hot and ready and a breadstick. And then we went to Wawa and got 2 half gallons, one of half and half, Arnold Palmer, Wawa tea, sugar-free, and a lemonade. And we went to Iron Bridge Park and had a picnic. And there was this guy with special needs that was walking around in the park. They take these people that live in facilities and they take them to the park or they take them to the mall. And the guy walked up to us and he wanted a piece of pizza. And it made me kind of think of a great movie. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And sometimes I feel like Jack Nicholson. Or is it Jack Nicholas? Jack Nicholson in that movie. And he told the dudes in the movie, there's nothing wrong with you guys. You guys are not crazy, man. Y'all could leave this place. Why are y'all still here? Yeah, man. And it's like, I told my son, I said, there's nothing wrong with that guy. Just because he wanted to come over and get a piece of pizza. Like Jackson told me that the people that were taking care of him told him that's his favorite food. And it reminded me of, the one that Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Remember after they have the Christmas party and they get all drunk and everything and they're having the time of their lives. Up shows Nurse Ratched and her 3 henchmen. And these people that were taking care of these people at the park, they were kind of like the henchmen. And they're like, get over here, grabbing the dude. And he kind of looked like the dude that had when they had the liquor going through the tube. Yeah, it kind of looked like him a little bit. I mean, it was. I told my son, I showed him some of that movie. Like, dude, sometimes the people like Nurse Ratched, she's a nurse. She's supposed to be good, but she's not. She's evil. And the dude who's supposed to be bad, Jack Nicholson, actually, he's good in the movie. Look at here, MK. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to, no matter how big or scary your goal may seem. You've got this. I watched The Matrix last night. I told Coach Bald.
Yeah.
Anderson means son of man. Anderson. Thomas Anderson was the guy's name. From what I'm saying, Coach Bald, and my little monologue here, what are you thinking? What's on your mind if life was a class? What have you learned? Is not class every day?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, and you watching that video, her being 80 years old, still learning, should tell you something. I saw something this past week that I learned. I learned that the greatest offensive line coach of 80 years should not be cutting his own hair. You know what I mean? I think that's a lesson that he learned, and I believe he got a good chewing out by the missus.
Yes.
And yeah, man, I think that's what it is. You got to be open to learning, because that's the thing. You have options now with YouTube. You can still crack books, but you can learn more than you have ever been able to. It's available, but it's a double-edged sword. You can be distracted more than ever. And yeah, huge shout out, MK. Super proud of you and your loyalty. But yeah, I did share with Coach that a really good friend suffered a massive stroke, and I just want to give all prayers to his family and everything. He was a very loyal listener and commented all the time on the show and everything, and just a great person. Quick story about him: we took him to a place that we would go. And what they would do, it was kind of like the Yahtzee deal, Coach, where you grab the dice, you throw it in the cup, and, you try to roll double snake eyes. Well, he did. He hit double snake eyes. He hit 4 ones on that thing. And what you did is every time you went in there, you just threw a buck in the pot. Well, when he won, we paid the $1, just to get him in the game, but he rolled. And yeah, man, he hit it for over $700. And the first thing he wanted to do was give us half, because we gave him $1 to play the game, And it was like, nah, man, you need that more than we do. And yeah, man, that's just the type of good fellow that he was, man. Just a great person and everything. And yeah, man, just prayers going out to the family and everything. But yeah, man, you never know when your number's going to be called. It's a tough thing we're learning. Who is this with the comment? My favorite morning live stream people. Good morning. What is that name on there, Coach? Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Thank you.
Allison Allen. Good morning, guys. Do you know Allison?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
MK is only going to school for an hour.
Wow.
The last day of school, and only an hour, because I'm only going to the awards ceremony, and it's only an hour. Keep us updated. Tonight we will be live streaming the Minnesota Timberwolves versus
Game 5.
Dallas Mavericks, Game 5. If life was a class, what have you learned, Coach Bald?
It's important to do your homework.
Ooh.
Don't show up 5 minutes early with a blank sheet of paper and a pencil that may or might not be broken, or pen. Do kids even use pencils these days, Coach?
somebody gives them one.
Yeah.
Allison Allen, Kyle Sterling graduates tomorrow. Congratulations to Sterling.
That is my rock star wrestling cousin out of the D, Dinwiddie, baby. Dinwiddie, baby.
County, baby.
Super proud of him. We're going to see those guys here in about a month. So I'm fired up
coming
about
down.
that. They're coming to Florida. They're coming to sweat.
They're coming down to St. Petersburg.
Yes.
Man. Yes.
What award, Coach, if you don't mind me asking, what award was given to my main man, the jackhammer, yesterday?
A and B honor roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. A and B honor roll. You got an A and B honor roll for middle school, 7th grade. And Salem Middle School basically looks the same, dude. They have the Forum, which is an auditorium that's like got steps. It doesn't have seats.
They still got that yellow and green colors. Is that the colors?
Yeah, that's the colors. Yeah, they're the Salem Seahawks.
The
Because
Seahawks.
someone was offended by the term Salem Saints. You can't have a school with the name Saints.
They changed the name of the
Seahawks. Now there's people in Seattle that are offended.
Do they still call it Salem Church? Church people are going to be outraged here shortly.
No, I don't believe they call it Salem Church anymore.
Oh, wow.
There's Salem Church Baptist Church, but then there's Salem Middle School, and I think it might be Salem Church Elementary. I think it might be Salem Church Elementary, but they might even got rid of the church.
Wow.
You know, that's too confusing. That could be a private school. It's a Salem Church, but it's Salem Church Road. If life was a class, what have you learned?
I tell you what, I think, you got to follow your passions, and one of our passions, was on the gridiron, on the football field, and that was something that I think kept us out of a lot of trouble. I think finding a sport that we loved kept us from doing stuff that we should have been doing, because we had to occupy that time during the day, after school. So I think following your passion, and that's the thing. They say if you study for one subject for 5 years, that you are a master of that subject. 5 years, 1 hour a day, and you will be a master of that craft, whether it's DJing, whether it's dancing, whether it's coaching, whether it's lifting weights.
Yes.
That was another passion of ours at an early age, was lifting weights, watching pro wrestling. Yeah, man.
What have you learned about lifting weights?
Well, I learned that sometimes you rupture a bicep, and that can be a huge setback. But like anything, you got to focus on what you can do. Get your steps in. I saw a thing that I thought was pretty intelligent the other day: how to live a long life. 3 things: eat half, walk double, and laugh triple.
Ooh. Say that again. That's prophetic, man.
Eat half, walk double, and laugh triple. Laughter is definitely one of the best medicines, without a doubt. Our mom is in a tough, she's battling it. And so I usually hit her with a Mexican word of the day. and I will share the Mexican word of the day yesterday. Mexican word of the day, somersault. I asked Maria what all the spices were in her spice rack. She said, I can't remember them all, but somersault. There you have it.
Some are salt.
There you have it, man.
MK doesn't know the award she's receiving,
Oh,
but I'm pretty sure you'll be on here tonight and you will let us know. You will keep us updated.
absolutely. Proud of you. Proud of you. Not surprised one bit. Be a leader. You're such a leader, and we appreciate you because you're why we're doing this, MK.
Ooh.
You're why we're doing this. We want to influence you to do the right thing, and not always when everybody's looking. You know what I mean? It's the people that move in the dark, work out in the dark, study in the dark. Those are the people that when the lights come on, that people are like cheering for you. They don't see the grind. They just see the shine.
I'll tell you tonight, Coach Bald, if you're on, he will be watching somewhere, even if his face isn't on the screen.
Yep.
He is always monitoring totem pole. Here we go. In the granite, go getters that put in the work. Coach Bald, Coach Troy. Man, what a guy he is.
Granted,
He makes
my
me
main
want to
man.
become a Celtics fan again because he's everything that is right with Boston. He's everything that's right with the Celtics.
Yep. And he loves the fight game, man. His knowledge on mixed martial arts, on boxing. He is a professional. He knows what he's talking about. He is trust me, he has done that math. That
Dude,
1 hour per day for 5 years. Oh, that man's putting in 365 every year.
Look who it
Talking
is.
about his craft.
It's Jeff, the man. The man.
Hefe.
And I tell you, I was watching In the Granite 617's Twitter live stream, and dude, he has got some fast hands. And not just speed, but dude, he's bringing the power with those junks. And I could just imagine someone headbutting his fist. I don't think anybody headbutting his fist would be standing up very long,
Right. And that man, his path has been harder because his calling has been higher, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's just a guy that, when you sweat more in training, you bleed less in war. And that's just the type of fighter that he is. He's been he's seen the dark side, and he's touched hell and back. And that's the type of stuff that we want to share here. Wisdom, maybe shortcuts, maybe leave some breadcrumbs on how to get out of difficult situations. But you got to go through difficult situations. Every day I drink some crap that tastes terrible, but they got good health benefits. I sit in a sauna when it's already 100 degrees out here, and I just sit there and melt away a little bit. But hey,
will we see Sweating with Coach Bald again?
You know what? My cell phone, it gets so hot in there, it just, I don't know, man. I got to get a different.
The blueprint of life. All right. Then you got In the Granite 617 says, I've been fighting your whole life. Okay. In life, if life was a class, what have you learned? Here's one thing I've learned. The people that don't have to fight, they make the people feel like the ones that have to fight like they're bad. Dude, just because you had to fight growing up don't mean you're bad. The only people that don't have to fight or don't fight are the ones that don't have to fight, or they have someone else to fight for them, or they have someone else to fight their wars. And usually it's us. In the Granny, exactly, Coach Ball. Thank you for the respect. Both of yous are two of a kind. I understand that from moving schools. Yeah. My dad used to tell me, Troy, eventually they'll stop fighting you. because they're even if you lose, they're gonna be like, dude, don't mess with that guy. He'll fight. Like, just leave him alone, man. Like, you may beat him up this time, but he's coming back tomorrow and he's gonna fight. You may get a shot, but he's gonna get a shot in there too. In the Granite 617, discipline is everything. I know I'm not bad. I was a product of my environment. 100%, dude.
Yeah, man.
100%. The people that don't fight are the people that don't have to fight. You were from a place you had to fight. Talk about that, Coach Bald.
That's just how it was, man. Like, you know, it wasn't anything to get off the school bus and you got a grown men sitting there fist fighting. You got girls sitting there ripping clothes off. You know, it was just bad, man. It was, you know, we didn't have grass. We had dirt. You know what I mean? Like, that was what Parkley Apartments was. You know, you had dogs, you just had dogs roaming around the street. Yeah, man. It wasn't no thing to see a guy get knocked out and then the guy run in the house to grab a knife to come after somebody. You know what I mean? And you know what you always seen on the power line? Pair of shoes just sitting.
Why is that? Why is that? Just because there's nothing else to do?
Man, I really don't know. You know, we were always trying to find dirty, infested, you know, mats of people getting evicted so we could wrestle on them, you know, and jump off the top of the trash cans. You know, that was the thing.
You never got COVID. That's why you never got COVID because you wrestled on those dirty mattresses.
You know, I'm probably drinking, you know, 50 gallons of, you know, dirty water from those water hoses. Nothing was colder back in the day than those water hoses when you were hot. And so I think that has to do with, you know, not catching COVID without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the things that occurred on those dirty mattresses. Good.
Oh, dude.
I
know, dude.
Clue. You had no
clue. Oh, I would. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you had
man.
a black light, dude, I don't even know if you'd see anything because the entire thing would be a stain.
Yeah.
You know? We didn't even know what black lights were. I mean, some people had a black light poster and a black light, but those were few and far between, man. They were the hippies. Yep. They were the guys that were taking the trip to the dark side of the moon. Man,
absolutely,
dude. Man. The movie, or really it was a book. Amen. Coach Bald is right. Thank you, Coach Troy Taylor. Thank you, In the Granite. The movie, the book, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, was written by a guy that went to Stanford University. And they said, hey, sign up for this experimental test that we're going to have. Oh, and these guys from Standard, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Said, here, try this.
Bad idea.
We have this, you know, process that we want to test. And guess what the process was? LSD. Oh, LSD. God. And guess who was behind it? Our great friends at the CIA. And I'm telling you, look at this. This made my day. The man from Seattle. Coach Jeff says Coach Bald was ravishing Rick Rude on those mattresses. Dude, if there's one wrestler that I can say Coach Bald reminds me of, it would be ravishing Rick Rude because he could actually do that with his stomach back in the day. Coach, the man from Seattle, Coach Paul, Crystal Ball Paul. Who is your favorite wrestler growing up? And if life was a class, Paul, MK Ultra. That's exactly what it was. MK Ultra. Who is your favorite wrestler growing up? And if life was a class, what have you learned, Paul?
I'll give you two. Actually, can I get three? I need three all time.
Yeah, there's no rules to this. This is our matrix.
Okay.
This is our Alice in Wonderland here.
Number one, Greg the Hammer.
Ooh, wow. Dude, that's impressive. Why Greg the Hammer Valentine?
I mean, he had a simple move, but he had personality, man. His character was like perfect for his name, you know.
And it was
You know,
Brutus Barber Beefcake, right? Was his tag team partner, right, Kyle?
He was one of them. Yeah, Honky Tonk Man was one of them. Yeah, man.
Yep. Okay. And then freaking the guy, the guy, the show, the Big Show.
The Big Show.
I love the Big Show.
The Big Show would not sign my lifting belt. I had a lifting belt, and I wanted him to sign it to my lifting partner. And he said, dude, you can't lift with me. And I was like, what do you work out with? He said, I work out with 405 on the incline. That's my warm-up. That was, man, what a great guy.
And then this guy right here, dude, he has all the persona of being a wrestler. Best intro song, I think, in pro wrestling. John 3:16 himself. Right. And then he had a cult following.
Austin 3:16.
The Stone Cold. Yeah, Austin. Yeah. Stone Cold. Like the beer cans.
Yes.
Just a pure. Yeah.
Pure whoop ass.
And then I'm throwing a fourth and I'm done. I love. Yo. The Cult of Personality.
CM Punk.
Who's the Cult of Personality?
Punk Bomb.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
The Cult of Personality. Hey, how about
the Butcher? Wow.
Abdullah the Butcher really wasn't a butcher, was he? And Fawcett, Morning Jets. So if life was a class, man from Seattle, Crystal Ball Paul. I've been watching The Matrix. I've been studying The Matrix and all that goes into The Matrix. You know, the actual movie The Matrix. I saw it in 1999. It didn't make sense. MK says, I'm going to school, so I hope everyone has a great day today. See you guys tonight. Coach Bald, I hope your friend is okay after his stroke. And MK is winning an award today. Paul, would you like to say anything to MK before she goes? She hopes to see you tonight.
Good morning, MK. As you wind these days down in school, make sure you take time to reflect on the school year, things you like, and things that you want to get better at. But look for
Middle Masters man with a million masks. Laugh out loud. Kyle, do you know the Mill Mascaris man with the million masks?
Yeah. He was one of the greatest masked wrestlers of all time, man. He was he was tough, man. I had heard some stories where him and the grappler got into it, and they were shooting on each other. Like the promoter said, this person wins, and neither one of them agreed with that, and it turned into a fist fight. You know what I mean? And I think it just ended in a draw. I think we're getting a little feedback here. You hear that, Coach? Or is it just me hearing it?
That's me. I'm too loud. Are you good now?
Yeah, there you go. What are you jamming today,
Hey, listen.
Paul?
Do you guys know Ray Hebner Jr.? Remember him?
The Hebner brothers were referees. They were twins.
Correct.
Which Hebner?
Well, did you guys know that?
Are you talking about the WWE Hebners? Or are you talking about the Chester guys that work on cars Hebners?
The WWE.
Okay. Aren't they from like?
Well, one of the brothers had a son, and he went to Matoka. He played baseball with me growing up, and then he became a referee, Brian Hebner, and he did some wrestling in the WWE at the height of his thing. Brian Hebner.
I believe he still might do that occasionally.
Yeah, he went over to TNA for a little bit. But I see him around here sometimes, just in Colonial Heights, bump into him.
We should get him on the show,
Tell him
man.
to hop on, man. Let's chop it up with him, Paul. Make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'll hit him up. Brian Hebner. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys
he's got a lot of stories.
those guys have the best stories because they would usually go on the road, and a lot of times the referee would go on the road with like the other managers or stuff like that, or maybe the ring announcer. So those guys got after it just like the wrestlers did as well. But those guys always have some very good stories. Definitely try to lock him in.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He was
Never
one of the
forget. Yeah, he's a good
original
one.
high flyers, wasn't he?
yeah, Madison Square Garden. He jumped off the top of the cage on Don Morocco, and it was just like one of the best shots you've ever seen of somebody jumping off the cage.
Dude, I think that you may be like the Rain Man of wrestling, dude. Like you're spitting out facts that are like Lambo-esque, but better. Because you actually can like talk to us about them, not just spit random facts from the Matrix. Andre the Giant wrecking people. Bob Blackland. Blackland.
Backlund.
What do you got to say about Andre the Giant and Bob Backlund, you two? Kyle, what do you think? What do you think about Andre the Giant and Bob Backlund?
Andre's a beast, man. Yeah, I mean, I know a personal story about him. Him and my one buddy, they were over in Japan, and my buddy had tried to keep up with Andre, and they were drinking like these gallon-size cups, big old cups, and they called them that. At one time, Andre threw a mask on with some other guys, and they were called the Machines or something like that. And he was like the super giant machine or something like that. But they named that drink after him, and he had one or two of those. The other guy had one, and he ended up putting him in a bell cart, taking him to the room, just dropping off he basically just opened the door, put the whole bell cart in there with my buddy, and then just took off, man. What a guy. Then he really started drinking. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Andre the Giant. If life was a class, Paul, what have you really learned? If life was a class, what have you really learned? Is there anything in particular that you have learned since you became a part of Totem Pole Nation?
Yeah. Oh, the number one thing I've learned, and I thought about this the other day, is let me word this correctly. Oh, either I need to be part of the program, off the program, because I'm not the program. That's me. That's what I learned.
Wow.
It's like being a part of the team. Is what you're saying.
Correct. Check my ego at the door and hop on and have a good time.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
No one else determines the time that you're having, because misery loves company.
It sure does.
Company. And some people just want to see other people miserable. That's why we have people like MK. We have people like Chance Fawcett. We have people like Jeffrey. We have people like In the Granite 617. And Paul, I sent y'all the other day the last lecture by Randy Posh, who had pancreatic cancer. And Randy Posh gave his last lecture, and he said there's a head fake involved. And Randy Posh said that playing football, he wanted his childhood dream was to make it to the NFL, and he never made it. But because he played football, he learned that if people are getting on your case and people are correcting you, that they care. And when people stop correcting you and stop coaching you, that means they stopped caring. And Coach Bald shared with me yesterday. I was a little down yesterday, Paul. Didn't feel like doing life lessons. Felt like I was a little burnt out from doing all these live streams. But Coach Bald called me yesterday and told me that his great friend had had a stroke at 45 years old and it's not doing very well. But he had sent his friend that video of Randy Posh, the last lecture. And his friend had watched it and had commented, wow. And that put things into perspective for me, Paul. I said to myself, why are you feeling sorry for yourself? What y'all are doing at Totem Pole Nation is bigger than just yourself. You're helping others. You're building champions. And that meant so much to me that Coach Bald called me and sent that to me. Coach Bald, anything you want to add to that story? Because Paul wasn't in here earlier when we told it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the last thing I got to send to him, and his reaction was just wow. And I love that because, you have some people, and you guys know them, you have some people that anything you send them, they're going to read it or they're going to watch it. And that's the kind of guy he was. And so, I know that the last message I sent him was love. And, he was already struggling a little bit with his health and everything. So I thought, it was important to send to him. But one of the best messages I loved about that whole thing was one of his football coaches. They're in there and they're doing some training. And the guy is like, hey, coach, like, where's the ball? And he said, oh, you want to know where the ball is? He said, how many people are on a football field at one time? He said, 22. He said, exactly. We're going to focus on what the other 21 people do.
That reminds me of Hoosiers.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing, the life lessons that you gain through this thing and the value of the relationships that you build. I think that really does determine, the quality of your life.
Man from Seattle, what do you think about today's show? What are you feeling? And then looking towards tonight's game, the Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. What are you thinking?
I'll see you game 6.
Ooh.
So it's going to 6.
Yes.
Has LeBron James ever been swept?
Huh?
Who?
Has LeBron James ever been swept in a series?
Yeah, it happened this year. Denver.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many times, but I know one right away is San Antonio when he was in the NBA Finals. They got swept.
You're at Wawa, Paul. Which Wawa are you at?
Yeah, Colonial Heights. I gotta just get my car. Get my car washed and
do they have these in there?
What?
The Wawa cup that I got.
Yeah, I have one. They're at every Wawa. I've got one.
This is a wonderful cup.
They're certainly is not. And not only did the Sean cases, political cases that I saw put me way over the top. I was like, oh, this guy's the real deal.
What are you thinking? Are you happy to be back on Life Lessons? I know MK was happy. What are you feeling? Coach Bald, what are you feeling, man? What are you feeling? How do you feel being back on Life Lessons?
I mean, I love it, man. I love the testimonies that we bring. This week for me has been just a whirlwind of emotions. I just went to St. Louis and saw couple of my best friends, Big Kenny, get married. That was amazing. And the thing that really stuck out about that is, you know, him and his brother and his sister, they lost their mom at a very young age. I want to say he was, you know, he might not even been a teenager. If he was 13. And to start the wedding, you know, they did a candle light for her, and you know, and his mom's, you know, memory. And it was kind of windy out there, you know what I mean? And it was just, grabbed you by the throat as soon as you went in there. And then they had a certain table for all family members that, you know, were not able to be there. And just to see those photos and stuff like that, to see, you know, her pictures, and you look at them and you just think, what, you know, like that would have been our best friend, you know, that would have been my wife's best friend. So yeah, man, it was just moving, you know, and then to come back and
in the Granite 617 says, I'm moving down south in 2 years after my last kid is done with college.
Yes.
Where would you recommend, Coach Bald? Where would you recommend for In the Granite 617 to move?
I mean, if you're going to come to Florida, why not be near the water? You know, I'm just going to say that. Or don't, you know, you shouldn't move to Florida to drive 2 hours to be near the beach. You know, get close to the water. You don't have to be right on the water, but get driving distance. Get 20 minutes from there. You know, that'd be my best advice. Gulfport's nice. You know, South St. Petersburg is very nice, you know. But yeah, do your research. We know realtors. Hit me up, Granite. We get you squared away, brother. But yeah, man, I'm super proud of him. And his son was a heck of a ball player, and I believe his son was coaching. So he's got a heck of a future, you know, in coaching as well.
In the Granite 617's son is coaching?
Yeah, I believe so.
What's he coaching? Football?
I thought it was basketball, man. I think he's got a son that's in the 6'4", 6'5" range. If I'm not I might not be correct.
617 wants to move south. He's up in Boston now.
Yeah.
Where should he move to?
Move to the west coast of Florida, man. The west coast of Florida, you got the white sand, you know. Other side, you got the East Coast beach. You know, that's what it looks like on all East Coast. You got kind of that more brown sand, dirty water look, you know.
Paul, where do you think In the Granite 617 should move if he's going to move south? Any recommendations?
Central America.
Central America. Wow. In the Granite says Gulf of Mexico ? My son is on a Celtics internship for Suffolk University.
Yes.
Andrew Sweezy says Sunset also.
Nice.
And then yes, his son does coach. What country in Central America, Paul?
Belize, Costa Rica, or Panama.
Wow. And I think Coach Bald has been to Panama. Have you not? Or is it Colombia?
Yeah, several times to Panama. That's where my yaya lives. Yeah, man.
Coach
Yeah,
Bald
I want to buy
everything.
and again, maybe you're the guy I need to talk to, Coach Ball, because I'm entering that stage where I want a second home for the winter so I can play golf. And I'm thinking Central America or Florida, but I don't know if I'm a Florida guy because I'm an international guy, you know? So I don't know. We have to talk, and it's got to be like, you know, I'm looking for a perfect situation, nothing too big because I'm just living there in the wintertime. And because I'm gonna live here from April through November.
Greetings from Athens.
I tell you what, it's going to be warmer in Panama than it is here. That's for sure. You're going to be hit, like you're not going to have any chilly days
in the wintertime,
unfortunately. Right. Right. You won't have no chilly days over there, even in the wintertime. Yeah, here, you know, the golfing's good all over. I mean, it's I know that. We golf year round here, so yeah. We don't have any hills here, that's for sure. They do have hills over in Panama. That's a big difference.
Andrew says, see the Tampa hat. Thanks for Dave Canales.
Yep. That's definitely a Carolina Panthers fan, and man, he's a heck of a coach. He's a heck of a coach. I honestly thought at one moment that they would keep him and get rid of the gentleman that we got from the Jets. Yeah, that guy's a
Paul,
rising
in the
superstar.
Granite 617 says, thinking about Thailand 6 months a year and Florida Gulf of Mexico side 6 months a year. Have you ever thought of this? Maybe Tampa or Naples.
Okay.
Have you ever?
And the only reason, I'm glad that came out. The one thing keeping me from, because I'd be in Asia before Central America and all that. It's just a bridge too far. Like getting back for something, it's far. Like getting back from Panama to DC is like 5 hours on an airplane. See, that's manageable if I have an emergency. But from Asia, you're talking anywhere from 12 to 15 hours. It's just a step too far. Just in my eyes.
Is the weather in Korea? Is the climate what?
It's identical.
What line of latitude are they on? Is it like Virginia?
It's identical to right here.
Wow.
It's just a little bit warmer in the summer and a little bit colder because it's a peninsula and it gets a lot of humidity. That's it. It's exactly this. Usually when you look at the temperature here and temperature there, like if you look at the temperature there right in the center of the country, it's the same probably as it is here today. It's very close. That's another reason I really liked it, because it was like Virginia when you're talking climate. Other than, like I said, the uptick in humidity.
Coach Bald, have you ever had Korean fried chicken?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you have.
Delish.
Have you ever had 3 Mile wings from Hooters?
Yeah, of course he has. Of course. That's an of course.
I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't been in a Hooters in probably 10 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. When did they come up with that creation?
I think 3 Miles a little bit hotter than hot, ain't it, Paul?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's a little bit hotter than hot, but it's right below 911. They've had that forever, and it's the best one in there in the store.
It's the best
kept
one.
secret of Hooters.
Right. I mean, they were good cold, but hot is something special.
Right, yeah.
Where are you at
And
now,
that's the thing.
Paul?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to eat them at the restaurant. Don't do takeout with 3 Mile Islands. Got to have them delivered right to the table and start chowing down.
23 years out of the bars for me.
Good. Who is that? Granite?
That's in the Granite 617.
Yeah, well, tell them your story, Coach. Tell them your story. Y'all are two of the same. How long's it been for you, Coach?
What do you mean, drinking?
Yeah, since you've been in the bars.
I mean, I go to bars. I go to bars all the time, but I don't sit at a bar.
Right.
I mean, I go to Hooters. I go to restaurants. I go to sports bars, but I don't drink because I was an early starter and an early stopper. If I drank, I would be immediately arrested.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep. They throw you under the prison.
Yes. Paul, where are you at now?
I'm at the dollar store.
You're at the dollar store?
Yeah.
Dollar Tree?
Everything's $1.50
Dollar
now.
Tree. Yeah. We should do a show on my favorite stores. The top 5 favorite stores. And none of them would be what you think. This is like near the top of the list. I love this place.
Dollar Tree?
Yes.
Dollar Tree, Walmart, Ross, Burlington,
There you go.
Gabe's.
Hey, excuse
There
me,
you go.
brothers. I hate to interrupt, gentlemen, but I got to tap out.
Yeah, well, send us off. Send us out, man.
Oh, no, man. Y'all keep it going.
I got to go to school, man.
All right.
Yeah, so send us out.
Everybody, have a blessed day. Thank you for checking out Totem Pole Nation. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you want to hear. Check us out tonight. Big game, game 5. Game 5, Minnesota. Will they extend this thing against Coach Taylor's Dallas Mavericks? Tune in tonight. Live here on Totem Pole Nation. We will be live streaming. But huge shout out to our sponsors, St. Pete Rejuvenate. We love you guys. Check out their website. They're doing big things there in the St. Petersburg, Florida area. But yeah, to the next episode, guys. We love you.